Hey everyone, welcome back. So this week, the second round of checks will be going out sent by the Social Security Administration all the way up to $5,108. Plus, three very important and huge changes are also going to be coming soon for Social Security, including possibly an increase of $200 per month for 6 months. But before we go ahead and dive into for today, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so we are just a few weeks away before the new year, 2026, and come 2026 is going to be bringing three very important changes to Social Security, including also, in addition to those changes, a possible increase of $200 per month. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into it for today with this article here from the Motley Fool. They say three important Social Security changes coming in 2026. So without further ado, starting out, the first change, of course, is the cost of living adjustment. So the most important Social Security change next year for beneficiaries is the annual cost of living adjustment. Last month, the Social Security Administration announced that benefits will increase by 2.8% beginning in January 2026. The average Social Security retirement benefit will increase by roughly $56 per month. This adjustment is bigger than the 2.5% increase received in 2025. However, it's lower than the average COLA of 3.1% over the last 10 years. Of course, not everyone is happy with a 2.8% bump. Shannon Benton, executive director for the Senior Citizens League, a nonprofit advocacy group for seniors, stated, quote, "The 2026 COLA is going to hurt for seniors. Benton and her organization would like for Congress to modify how the COLA is calculated to better reflect the cost incurred by seniors." Now, with that said, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Are you personally happy with a 2.8% increase, or do you believe that it actually needs to be higher than that? Now, the second change coming in 2026 has to do with higher earnings limits for early retirees. So some individuals claim Social Security retirement benefits before they reach their full retirement ages but continue to work. Some of their income from working could be subject to Social Security's retirement earnings test. The Social Security Administration will deduct $1 from benefits for every $2 earned above an annual limit for anyone who is under the full retirement age for the entire year. So in 2025, that annual limit was $23,400. However, it's increasing to $24,800 in 2026. And then for individuals who reach their full retirement age while continuing to work, SSA will deduct $1 in benefits for every $3 earned above a different higher annual limit. In 2025, this earnings limit was $62,160, and then next year in 2026, the annual limit is going to be increasing up to $65,160. And then finally, the third change, also taking place next year in 2026, is going to be increased maximum taxable earnings. So this actually has to do with people still in the workforce, whether you receive Social Security benefits or whether you have not yet started claiming Social Security. If you are a higher earner next year in 2026, you may possibly have to pay more taxes on those earnings. So they go on here to say that another major Social Security change isn't limited to current beneficiaries. Instead, it applies to high-income working Americans. The maximum amount of earnings subject to the Social Security portion of FICA payroll taxes will increase to $184,500 in 2026 from $176,100 this year. All employees must pay 7.65% of their salaries to help fund both Social Security and Medicare. Employers pay the same rate for each employee. Self-employed individuals pay both the employee and employer FICA taxes for a total of 15.3%, and income above $184,500 won't be subject to FICA taxes in 2026. However, it's likely the maximum taxable earnings threshold will again increase in future years. And of course, there's actually some lawmakers in DC right now advocating for us to lift that cap so any earnings that you make would be subject to the FICA taxes for Social Security. That way, someone earning $20 million per year would be taxed on the entire $20 million and not just the first $180,000 or so that they earn. Again, leave your thoughts and comments below on that. Now, a fourth possible change coming up in 2026, if lawmakers in DC can pass this bill through Congress, would be an emergency $200 per month increase over the course of just 6 months. This would not be a permanent increase, but it would essentially be a $1,200 boost spread out over 6 months. It'd be $200 more than what you're supposed to receive throughout the months of 2026, again, for the first 6 months. So according to Investopedia, your Social Security check could be a couple of $100 bigger in the first half of 2026 if a proposed congressional bill passes. Several Democratic lawmakers introduced a bill to the Senate at the end of October that would raise monthly Social Security payments by $200 starting in January and ending on June 30th. They say these additional benefits would help beneficiaries keep up with the increasing cost of essentials such as medication and groceries. Now, what would the $200 payment mean for you? Well, the proposed payments would be in addition to the 2.8% COLA increase for 2026 Social Security benefits, which will result in approximately a $56 per month increase in your check. And the $200 payments would be given to beneficiaries who receive Social Security payments, supplemental security income, railroad retirement benefits, and veterans benefits if the proposed bill is enacted. The additional payments would also not be considered beneficiaries' income, meaning the extra $200 will be essentially tax-free. And that would be great if they could actually get on board with this idea. Again, we have Trump right now clamoring for $2,000 stimulus checks. We have Democrats clamoring for this extra $1,200. So if Republicans and Democrats can come together with this idea, this may not be only for Social Security beneficiaries, but it might actually be for all Americans. Again, leave your thoughts and comments below. What would you think about an extra $200 per month over the course of 6 months? Do you think this is something that they could possibly get done? Now, on top of that, this week we actually had the second round of checks going out sent directly from the Social Security Administration. These checks are going to be valued all the way up to $5,108 according to Newsweek. So they say that this week's payments will be made to those with a birthday falling between the 11th and 20th of the month on Wednesday, November 19th. That's coming up in just one day. Now, following this, there will be one more payment date this month on Wednesday, November 26th, for those birthdays between the 21st and 31st. And then as far as how much Social Security goes, it really varies person by person, but benefit levels are based on a person's lifetime income and how many years they paid into the system through payroll taxes. As of July, retirees receive an average of $2,006.69 per month. The highest possible payment varies by retirement age, so up to $2,831 for someone who claims at 62. It's going to be all the way up to $4,018 at the full retirement age, which is 67, and then finally as much as $5,108 for those who wait all the way until the age of 70. And then of course next year in 2026, with the cost of living adjustment of 2.8%, those benefits are going to be boosted up just a little bit as well. So with that said, that is all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.